Hello everyone. Okay, chaliye, let us start with today's analysis of newspaper. So today we will going to start with a topic that is digital scam trail tracked, crores move in minutes across banks, state borders, official watch as a same ghost account used and reused. So this is one of the biggest consider किया जा रहा है कि इस particular century का this is one of the biggest scams which has been saw and पूरा particular various authorities have been involved and what is the process, how this particular function is like. This is actually the process of money laundering. So today we will going to discuss in detail कि basically what money laundering is, because money laundering is very important from GS paper 3. From GS paper 3, that is internal security, plus UPSC has asked question on money laundering previously. That's why money laundering becomes very important. So starting with basically हुआ क्या, this is just a news कि, just give me a second, this was a whole chart which was prepared. So account, there was one account to 141 accounts in 3 layers. So एक account से 141 accounts में ये पैसा transfer हुआ. And what was the amount? That is 5.85 CR, that is layer 1. फिर 4th of September, 5th of September 2024 को it has been transferred via HDFC Bank. Then यहाँ से there is a man that known as Piyush, उसके father and mother के account में इतने पैसे गए. Then cut to the third party, that is layer 2. Different accounts, more than 141 accounts have been made. And then finally यहाँ पर आके layer 3 किया. That means कि उस particular money को they have again illegal money को they have make it appear as illegal money in the market. Now this is the whole process जिस तरीके से पूरी accounting की गई. Now the concept arise here कि what is money laundering, how this particular news is related to our topic, how it is important from our perspective. So today we will going to cover everything about money laundering. What is money laundering, types of money laundering, what is the process of money laundering, what are the laws which are made in related to money laundering in our particular country, and how basically we will going to tackle what are the basically initiatives taken and what is actually the process which has been taken to convert this to basically utilize this money laundering. Now money laundering क्या होता है? Basically money laundering is an illegal process of converting dirty money into clean money. What is dirty money? Dirty money is the black money and उसी को पूरा whole layering process में convert करके when you make it a clean money, that is authorized money, जिसका पूरा है कि that this is a clean transaction, that is basically known as money laundering. So money laundering is the illegal process of making a large amount of money generated by criminal activities like your drug trafficking, corruption, terrorist funding, fraud appears to be earned legally. And जब इस particular process when we convert black into white, that is basically known as money laundering. And money laundering is not only the concern of India, it is the concern of world. That's why various different organizations like your FATF, Financial Action Task Force, is working to stop this particular crime, that is money laundering. Now money laundering basically takes place in a 3 process, that is the placement thing, number 1, second is layering, and third is integration. Now what is basically your First of all, अब money is earned from a black money sources or from a criminal sources. So if you are earning some money from these kind of sources, that means that you can't easily rotate it in the market. आप easily उसको market में utilize नहीं कर सकते. You have to convert it into clean money. So सबसे पहले what we make it do, we make sure कि we actually first step is कि आप उसको bank system में लेके आइए. Because one particular thing is in bank system, that is like कि first and second are the major steps. Third is like majorly third step तक जाते जाते things are quite easy. So first step में basically is the first step is a placement of money. आपने वहाँ पे भी example में we have saw that कि first of all that particular amount has been deposited in basically your HDFC bank. This is the stage of a placement stage कि पैसा has been, the black money has been come into the system via banks, that is known as basically the placement stage. अब प्लेसमेंट स्टेज में एक पर्टिकुलरली बैंक सिस्टम में आ गया. आफ्टर दैट अगर एकदम से किसी पर्टिकुलर अकाउंट में इस तरीके से ट्रांजेक्शन आता है देन इट्स क्वेश्चनेबल. दैट्स व्हाई दे गो फॉर लेयरिंग. व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ लेयरिंग? लेयरिंग में दे विल गोइंग टू बेसिकली डिपॉजिट दिस अमाउंट इन स्मॉल नंबर इन डिफरेंट वेरियस अकाउंट. सो दैट्स व्हाई द सेम 5 CR प्लस अमाउंट विच वॉज अ ब्लैक मनी हैज बीन डिपॉजिटेड इन मोर देन 141 अकाउंट्स. सो इससे क्या होता है कि व्हाट द थिंग विल हैपन कि सोर्सेज डाइवर्सिफाई हो जाते हैं. किसी एक पर्टिकुलर बैंक में देयर इज, इट विल नॉट बिकम क्वेश्चनेबल कि हाउ लाइक सडनली दिस अमाउंट ऑफ मनी गेट लाइक कम्स इन योर पर्टिकुलर अकाउंट बेसिकली. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर डूइंग द सेकंड प्रोसेस इज टेकिंग प्लेस, दैट इज नोन एज लेयरिंग. First you are making it, you are putting into the system. Second you are layering it so that it is not objectionable. That's why majority of the deposits which are done in accounts is basically the amount is approx 49,000. They deposit approx 49,000 because once you deposit 50,000 it will be questionable. So that's why majority of the black money which is deposited in different accounts is in form of 49 this kind of thing. Like there was a web series called as Maharani, that was based on a CM of a female CM of Bihar. So in that particular series also they have told, like they said that ki bhai yes they are depositing money in a layering in a form of 49,000 because once it is in 50,000 then it is questionable in the bank. So that's why layering is done basically of this amount, and the small amount is basically deposited in an account. So on an average there are like 141 accounts. किसी में 10 लाख का they have deposited, किसी में 5 lakh, किसी में 6 lakh according to the particular. Like there was a carpenter, in his account there was 2 lakh has been deposited in minute numbers. So he said that ki theek hai, I received some payment from particular XYZ of work which I have did this year or this time. Like these kind of stuffs has been basically a drama was created. But this is the step, that is the second step. First is a placement, second is the layering, and third is the important stage when finally you are putting that particular thing or money. Now it is basically in a process, final step of converting into clean money. And the easiest way after your placement and layering to convert your black into white, that is your dirty money into clean money, is the integration process. Majority of the people, they invest in luxury goods and real estate. For example, they buy very costly watches, cars, houses, apartments, private jets, because it is very easy to invest or to basically invest and basically to convert. Like it's the easiest process of converting your black into white, that just invest in the luxury goods. That's why real estate is considered as one of the biggest hub of converting black into white. So why majority of the items, basically luxury items, are considered under the money laundering? Because they are relatively easy acquired and there is no such more questions which has been revolving around this. Like for example, these items can serve as a relatively easily acquired and easily transferable assets which can be used for the placement, layering and integration stages of money laundering scheme. So it is easy and easily to acquire. That's why majority of the people to that convert the final stage, that is integration stage, they are actually converting their black into white by finding these luxury goods. Just imagine few days back there was an auction which was going on. Just what was there, like a banana, a normal banana which we eat is actually has been, let's say it was placed in a wall like this, a plain white wall, and a grey color ka tape has been just pasted over there, and this particular banana was actually sold in crores. So just imagine कि एक बनाना जिसका कीमत in a normal market is a very less, like 12 10 max to max, let's say 50, let's say 20 rupees हो गया एक बनाना का cost, और 50 हो गया, but this particular banana has been auctioned more than crores. So this was actually the way of converting black into white. That's why majority of the people, they invest in luxury goods and paintings. Majority of the people, they are actually fond of paintings, but majority of the rich people, they are investing in painting because they are converting their black into white. So this is the process of money laundering. That's why people majorly invest in basically luxury goods, because it is easily to acquire. Now, what are the laws which are considered in India to prevent this? First of all, very important law UPSC has asked time to time, that is PMLA Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So we have specific laws and specific organizations which are actually dedicated to these particular crimes of money laundering, because India is one of the biggest hub of illegal money sources, like conversion of, like it's like majority of the black money of the world. Not I'm saying only India, but yes, India is one of the hub where black money is converted into white money. Process is quite easy. That's why majority of the people, like your Kingfisher owner, like your Nirav Modi, they easily have done money laundering here, and they have ran to the another part of the country, and we are not even in authority to capture them or to arrest them, because they are not under the authority of the country. But yes, they have money laundered a good amount of black money in our country. Now, what are the law? PMLA Act, that is 2002, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So it is one of the major organization, one of the major law which is working basically to counter money, to basically work on the money laundering part of the country, and the organization which get authority to work under this particular law, and the organization which is working actually in country to prevent money laundering is your Enforcement Directorate, ED. And time to time, in the current scenario, ED is highly in the news, because there is a debate which is going around ED, that ED is no more an independent body. ED is basically the kind of a rubber stamp of your central government. तो जिस पे भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल से कि ईडी जाओ उस पे छापा मारो, एंड दे आर एक्चुअली इन्वॉल्व, दैट पर्टिकुलर ईडी एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच इज अ गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच शुड बी वर्क इंडिपेंडेंटली विदाउट एनी प्रेशर ऑफ एनी XYZ सेंटर. So that should be work freely. But yes, there is a debate around ED, that is Enforcement Directorate, that they are actually working according to the center government. So they are actually the parrot of center government. Few years back, it was said for, same thing was said for CBI, that CBI is parrot of the government. So that's why UPSC has asked this question in mains, because this is important from your governance point of view as well. Then recently also ED has been questioned various times in basically your Tamil Nadu also, because under ED sand mining doesn't comes under ED, but ED has raided various people and politicians in Tamil Nadu who were involved, and Karnataka who were involved in this particular case of sand mining. So basically High Court of Tamil Nadu said that you have authority, but don't overreach your power. Don't basically violate violate your limitations. So that's why there was a dispute between judiciary versus ED, and time to time there are various disputes which are going against ED, because it is believed that ED is authority to investigate on the matters of money laundering, but they are overreaching their power. They are basically misusing their power under the purview of your central government. That's why there is a direct clash between ED and West Bengal also. What is the best, what I found about ED is, ED jahan bhi raid marta hai, this is like in every class of mine and in every session I say, because this is the best part I love about ED jahan bhi raid ya chhape marta hai, what they do कि whatever the bundle of क्या बोलते हैं note they will find, from note they will write बड़ा बड़ा ED, like they will make ED, like this is our stamp, this is our authority, we have captured this money. So this is one of of the best thing, like just go and scroll in Google like after this particular session, you will realize what I'm actually saying कि ED particular जो भी bundles of note पे छापा मारता है, raid करता है, they properly write ED, they click picture and they said that this is our what particular work which we are doing, this is our star mark, this is our basically thing कि yes, ED is powerful. So PMLA Act, ED, then I have already told you international platform pe we have FATF, and we are working with FATF to counter this money laundering. Financial Action Task Force, and India is one of the most active partners, or one of the most active who is actively involved in countering terrorism and money laundering in these international organizations. So recently also, chahe it was SCO meeting and Quad meeting is coming soon, then your particular Prime Minister has visited in G20. There also we have like very honestly said that we are against basically terrorism, and we want to counter the particular black money also, because terror funding, these terrorist activities are taking place because there is a huge scale of terror funding which is basically done by various countries to these terrorist organization and terrorist haven countries. So that's why at a very strong base we have criticized Pakistan, we have we have shown that we are against terrorism, plus we have shown to the world that basically we are also against money laundering, because money laundering is one of the biggest source of terror financing in the country. So that's why FATF is one of the important act internationally which is working on any anti-money laundering standards they have. Now FEMA is very important. FEMA is something which is related to any financial management exchange or authorities which are taken place internationally. Initially क्या था कि majority of the funds or during during elections or XYZ times, majority of the funding which government get, या which particular individuals or NGO get in our country is also the international funding. So majority of the money laundering is done via NGOs. So that's why after COVID-19 there was like Delhi government has decided to stop NGO recognition or registration, because at that time it was believed that crores and crores of black money has been converted into white through these NGOs, through NGOs. And secondly, when there was a demonetization which took place, at that time also more than lakhs of NGOs were involved in this particular conversion of money laundered money, because basically the funding पे बहुत ज़्यादा देखा नहीं जाता है. Funding, whatever you are doing, giving it for an NGO basis or for some charitable trust or views, that is not basically more search या बहुत ज़्यादा rules and regulations नहीं होते हैं. It is believed that it is for something for a good cause. But via these NGOs and via these basically international fundings, there is a lot of black money which is converted into white. That's why FEMA Act is there was a FERA and FEMA Act. FERA, that is Regulatory Act, now it is a Management Act. So we have repealed FERA, and now we are here with a FEMA Act which look after whatever the exchange which are done in a cross border, and specifically which is related to money laundering. This government came into existence, central government, and they said that after coming into the existence, they said that only approx 5 lakhs of foreign funding at a one time can be accepted by any particular party, because at that time it was believed that majority of the funding, the political party which was getting fund was your Aam Aadmi Party, and majority of the paisa was illegal money. There was reports by central government afterwards, but yes, it's still a case going on. Kitna sach hai, kitna nahi, we don't know. But it was believed that, then they said that 5 lakh will be the limit. Then they said that 10 lakh will be the limit. And currently there is actually, on papers the limit is different, but actually the limit which we are talking about is endless. Majority of the hawala money, that is black into white money, is also present in our system, and itself governments are involved. And then there is a Benami Transition Prohibition Act. If any person which is holding these kind of illegal ghar ho gaya, like your recently, or Kingfisher Malik, he came to a podcast and he said that मैं लाचार था, मेरे साथ ये किया गया, ये वो, I was not a criminal, I was portrayed as a criminal. But in short, various benami properties, like which has been made by the illegal sources, which is made by illegal income, can be seized by government under your Benami Transition Prohibition Act. Under this only, Lalu Yadav ji, various properties are there in Delhi and Faridabad, that is outer Delhi and UP NCR area, Delhi NCR area. So majority of the properties of his has been seized under Benami Transition Act. That it is believed that the majority of these politicians, they are making money from the illegal sources, the businessmen which are making from the illegal sources. The whole Vadra case is basically after this Benami Transition Act. So majority of the buildings or majority of the constructions or houses, they have purchased from this particular illegal sources and money that is actually come under the purview of your central government. So it prevents holding property in others' name to hide illegal income. That's why you will always see majority of the politicians, majority of the politicians जो हैं, they have their Benami property not directly will be on their name. Either it will be name of their daughter or daughter-in-law, or basically son-in-law, because directly they are not the one, because अगर directly हुआ, because our constitution said that, RP Amendment Act says that कि भाई you should be have this much of amount. अगर आप किसी particular constituency से you want to fight, if you want to elect for MLA elections or MP election or any XYZ elections in the country, so it's just like कि you have to basically have limited amount of money. तो अगर ज़्यादा होगा then you have to give proof. Okay, then you have to give particular proof. That's why majority of the properties, majority of the Benami, the illegal whatever they are purchasing is not directly on their name or wife's name. Majority of the things are basically purchased on the name of basically that son-in-law, daughter-in-law, XYZ दूर के रिश्तेदार, so that it is not under the purview of the government or these kind of illegal activities. So this is basically what Benami Transition Prohibition Act says us. Now it's PMLA Act which is working for your money laundering, then it's FEMA, then it's ED, Enforcement Directorate, then FATF, which is an international initiative, then FEMA, that is our act which is actually working on these kind of acts. These kind of money laundering, if anyone is involving in these kind of money laundering acts, then yes, these particular Indian laws which are associated with it. Now what are the methods of money laundering? So there are various methods which are involved in this particular money laundering, which we will discuss ki which methods are actually majorly used in our country. There are endless numbers of converting black into white, like your Smurf, which we have discussed, that structuring of money, dividing it into small accounts, that is known as smurfing. So there is a first process that is known as smurfs, then mules, then shell companies, gambling, counterfeiting, phishing scam. Phishing scam is like a cyber scam, किसी को फंसा के करना. Then a proxy servers, there are different fake servers has been made so that we can do transactions accordingly. So starting with what is smurfing. Smurfing is like when a large amount of cash is broken into small amounts, that is basically known as smurfing. So that it is not easily to direct particularly trace that money. अगर small amount will be there, then it will not be questionable. But suddenly अगर किसी एक account में there is a zero balance account from last 3 to 4 years, and suddenly 5 CR, 10 CR, 120 CR will come in that particular amount, definitely there will be a question कि भाई कैसे. So that's why amount is breaked into small accounts accordingly. That is known as smurfing, and the people whose accounts are basically used are known as smurf. Now sometimes the people who are actually like sometimes there is a like many a times when people investigate, when police investigate ki bhai what's the matter is, so majority of the time the accounts more than like there are like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, the number depends कि कितने accounts है. So majority of the time people are not aware कि there उनके नाम पे there is a proxy account which has been made and with their Aadhaar card data and with all of their data, but actually the different money laundering whole process is going in that particular account. So that's why majority of the people are not also aware. That's why it always says कि wherever you go, one of the biggest scams of India which was actually recovered a few years back, कि whenever you go to majority of the photocopy shops and you ask to print your data like your Aadhaar card or your any of your voter card or PAN card, what they do कि तुम्हें तो एक ही दिखाएंगे, they will show one to you, but on the cut to another part they will give a command as two कि like एक तो आया for you guys, एक आया उनके लिए. So what they will going to do, they will going to basically sell that data in the market, and our data is one of the precious thing which people are purchasing. Like for example, the coaching industries, I'm not saying only about the UPSC industry, but the coaching industries and different industries, they buy data of CBSE students. So there is like some people they charge ki acha this is the cream people, they can basically, if you call them, they can go for NEET or they can go for UPSC or they can go for different CUT ka exam. So these particular coaching industries, there is a big data scam which is going on. The coaching industry buy data, ठीक है, 1 रुपए में 1 बच्चे का या 1 रुपए में 4 बच्चे का. These kind of data is actually sold because wherever the particular XYZ student is giving their data, we also write, there are various number of websites where they need a basically, for example, I'm just going for a gaming का छोटा सा, I have to download a app. अब उसके लिए they are asking my email ID. I say ठीक है, yes ना, ये क्या ही कर लेंगे. But the thing is that your data is there are chances your data has been stolen or it has been gone to a person who can call you. अब just imagine if you will talk about some shirt or some color shirt, when you will go and search that particular thing on Google, you will find that particular shirt or color, same that kind of algorithm will be run in your data, or you will start getting calling related to that only. इस तरीके से, like I was searching कि भाई property nearby Delhi NCR, what was the cost? I get 100 and more than 100 calls in last few 15 days कि भाई खरीद रहे हो. I was just searching and उसके बाद 15 से 20 like on an average per day पे I was getting call from the different property holders. So this is actually what our data is misused basically. So smurfing में it is also believed that majority of the account holders, they are not even aware कि उनका account has been misused and they are the one who are trapped in all this. But yes, government realize कि हाँ भाई these are the people, इनका कोई लेना देना नहीं है, रहते पुणे में हैं, their account is opened in let's say गुजरात के किसी particular XYZ city में. So that's why yes, people are aware of this. But yes, deposits are made in a form of smurfing. Example, as I told you 49,000 deposited repeatedly to avoid 50,000 reporting thresholds, because जब 50,000 या उससे ऊपर का particular amount is basically deposited in any particular account, then it's a matter of question mark. But what they do कि they will basically deposit 49 these kind of amounts so that it is not easy to trace or it is not a questionable. That's why I give you example. Majority of the political parties, they do corruption in this particular form. Majority of the government authorities or government agencies or government ministries or sub-ministries and offices, they do corruption in this particular form, that is 49,000 deposit, or they will make a bill of 49,000 और उसमें देखा भी नहीं जाता है. Now shell companies, this is also one of the major thing which is actually done in India or worldwide. Shell companies are basically fake companies. For example, I am running an organization and I will basically start a fake company by different name. I will show कि हाँ मेरा एक address भी है in Hyderabad or let's say in any XYZ part of the country, और यहाँ पे I will show in the legal papers कि let's say 5 lakh salary is also going, construction भी सब कुछ है, but at the ground nothing is there. So these are the fake companies which are created and which has been shown in the legal papers कि सब कुछ हो रहा है. So shell companies are the fake inactive companies that are created with no real business operation. So they are just fake. They are various bogus transactions are just going through कि just to show the officials, just to show कि हाँ there is a like इतना salary जा रहा है, this much amount is salary, this much of expenses are going to that particular company, but at the like on the ground level there is nothing. This is just a bogus transaction. People are using this particular shell companies to show illegal money transactions or conversion of a black into white. For example, INX media case which was there, they've actually they have started various fake agencies which were run in our particular country by INX media. I'm not saying INOX, INX media, and this is one of the biggest scam of shell companies in our country. So smurfing, when we basically avoid क्या बोलते हैं, we basically make small accounts and we deposit money in a smaller accounts, that is known as smurfing. Then shell companies, when we open a bogus companies or basically fake companies but show different fake transactions. Then real estate transaction, this is one of the biggest place where black money is converted into white money. इसलिए you will see majority of the real estate holders, they wear lot of gold chains, and basically the gunda wala party they are having is because the black money, they are biggest sources of converter of black into white in our country. Good morning, Madhur beta. So what they are doing, as I already told you, money laundering mein it is very easy to basically find these, to invest on these luxury amounts, because it is very easy to acquire. That's why you will say falana XYZ, biggest XYZ Ambani has gifted yachts to her favorite XYZ Bahu. So yes, these kind of things are also part. All the big companies, all the big sharks are actually, they are highly involved in this kind of money laundering. And the lower people, like everyone is particular, majority of the people who are earning a good amount in our country or worldwide, they are part of this particular network, because ek time ke baad it is in need of the system ki yes, if you are not part of this, then definitely cheeze will not win your hand. So yes, purchase of land building using black money and later selling them at an inflated price is also one of the biggest scam or biggest thing which we used for basically black money conversion. Same is kind of thing, like these kind of real estate was involved in Delhi liquor ka. There was a whole Delhi liquor case which was there, because of which Delhi government has been, it is believed that ki Delhi government, Aam Aadmi Party basically have failed in our particular Delhi, was one of the reason, because of the liquor case which was because they were involved. It was believed that ki Delhi government, Aam Aadmi government was involved in Aam Aadmi Party was involved in different kinds of money laundering acts. So that's why this is also considered as one of the reason why they have been out of this particular system. Now, good morning, Aryan. Now, the second is basically Hawala transaction. This is the most interesting thing. Whole the D company, that is Daud company, was involved in this Hawala transaction. In just a short, I would like to just explain you. It's an informal transfer system. यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि it's like a mouth of code. A secret code is given to a person who will, and money is not involved in whole this process. ठीक है, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोड इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने इधर से बोला चिड़िया उड़ रही है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज द कोड. आई हैव बीन टेल दिस पर्टिकुलर कोड विल बी टेल टू अ हवाला पर्सन. ही विल गो टू XYZ कंट्री वेयर देयर इज अ डिफरेंट हवाला मनी इज देयर. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे है मनी, तो दे विल से कि गिव दिस मनी टू अस, एंड हमारा ही एक ब्रांच उधर है, जस्ट टेक दिस मच अमाउंट ऑफ मनी फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर कंट्री XYZ, कोई भी कंट्री हुआ. तो यहाँ से बोला चिड़िया उड़ रही है, सो ही विल गो टू दैट XYZ कंट्री, ही विल मीट अ पर्सन एंड ही विल से कि जस्ट टेल मी द कोड. ही सेड चिड़िया उड़ रही है, सो दैट्स ए कोड मैच, एंड देन ही विल से कि कितना अमाउंट है, ओके डन. So we will going to give you that particular amount. So that means your particular hawala money, that is illegal money, in the another XYZ country, it has been converted into a clean money. So it's a whole hawala process. There is a different steps which are involved. But in the current live class, I can tell you just itna ki yes, this is actually the process how hawala transactions takes place. Our Indian movies and our South Indian movies are one of the best example of this hawala transaction. Earlier, these hawala system kind of coding was used as a ट्रेड पर्पस कि भाई किसी को गोल्ड लेना है, इफ एनीवन वांट गोल्ड और डायमंड, सो व्हाट दे विल डू, दे विल गोइंग टू गिव अ कट और पीस ऑफ अ डायमंड कि हाँ दिस इज एक्चुअली मेरे डायमंड की पहचान है, एंड दिस इज XYZ कोड. जस्ट गो टू दिस पर्टिकुलर मर्चेंट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री एंड जस्ट टेल दिस, शो हिम दिस डायमंड एंड टेल हिम द कोड, ही विल गिव यू द डायमंड्स और ही विल गिव यू द गोल्ड, whatever the goods which are required. So this was actually also practiced in ancient time, but in a positive sense. But now this hawala transaction in our system is basically used in a negative sense. Amit, good morning, Amit. ठीक है, so this is used in a negative sense. And D company, that is Daud company from Dubai, is at a one time it was considered as one of the biggest source of hawala transaction, and it is believed that Daud is in Dubai and Pakistan is financing him. But yes, Still there is a conspiracy. Our Bollywood runs after basically Daud was responsible for running whole Bollywood industry. It was believed that once majority of the actors, they have been just gayab ek raat mein because of this Daud. Madhuri Dixit was once threatened by Daud company ki just you have to come and do show in the Dubai and you have to just make happy our people and our basically businessmen, but then your Madhuri Dixit ji denied ki I will not do that. Various threat calls have been given to her, but after that, then she left India and she just got married to like the Dr. Saab, and then she came back to India and then started her career. So majority of the conspiracies are related. Betting was one of at one time betting was also one of the source of black to white money conversion. And yes, good morning everyone. And Daud company was one of the most important leader. It was believed that ki there was in one of the podcasts I was listening ki Indian team was there. It was during your Kapil Dev time pe. Kapil Dev was also scammed, and Kapil Dev was also basically, it is believed that Kapil Dev Saab was also involved in this particular black money wala process, but later on it was said that it is a fake process. We still not aware. Yes, it might be a fake process, it might be a fake allegations which has been put, but it was believed that ki there was like one अब वो इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम थी कि पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम थी, दिस वाज नॉट रिवील्ड बाय दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉडकास्टर, बट ही सेड दैट there was a team which played a very good in Dubai, and Daud Ibrahim and his left hand was very happy with all that, and then he asked all the players to come in a party, but one of the player he said that no, I will not go in this gunda party and these are the criminals of our country and I will not prefer going there. And then after that all the players were given a gold proper biscuit was given to all the players at that time, and when they came back and they were happy, some of the players get good luxury cars, like us time pe Mercedes and Lamborghini type cars was given to majority of the cricketers at that time by the D company. And when they came back and they show that particular cricketer ki yes dekho hame ye sab mila and ye wo, to then he said that ki yaar मुझे भी मिलना चाहिए था, and I missed that opportunity. Cut to the next day, that particular cricketer was also given a gold biscuit. So these particular biscuit and luxury goods were also kind of a source of money and betting, because of which you were converting your black into white. That's why gambling is currently practiced in India, is one of the biggest source for it. Yes, everything is involved, beta, everything is involved. Yes, Prashant Pandey, everything is actually involved in this. Ki bhai, hawala transaction is not only done through एक person to another person. Shell companies are also involved in this. NGOs ke via they are doing different. So this particular sources which we are discussing, they are directly or indirectly linked to each other. Before COVID-19, I just registered my NGO, but because of some issues, we were not able to complete that process. Hello, we were not able to complete that process. So अब उसी के बाद पे there was a demonetization. During demonetization, we were running an NGO, we were college students, we started an NGO that is known as Praram, and but because of some issues, that particular thing was कि नहीं हो पाया, नहीं register कर पाए, we were at that time. So just after that demonetization were there, हमें एक खोखा, दो खोखा, तीन खोखा, like more than 3 to 4 खोखाs. अब you can understand the language in Hindi कि what is actually खोखा. So khokha is actually, we were offered khokha to convert that particular thing, and we at that time we were 18, 19, 20 and 21, we were like very young, and we decided ki yaar, we have missed some opportunity. There was a huge chance that we can get a very good amount of money, because they were favoring us ki take 20% and give us 80% of us buyback, and at that time we were in a so craze to do that. Yes, we can say that, beta Pandeyji, but yes, at that time there was a situation and we regretted as well, but we also thank God ki chalo theek hai, at a very initial stage, because one of my friend only, she was involved in this NGO and she was trapped in this and she was jailed at the age of 20, and then we were scared also ki chalo theek hai, अच्छा हुआ कि हमने लालच नहीं करी and things were not registered. But yes, this particular NGO at that time, we believe that we are not even registered, then we are getting this much amount of money. Just imagine the NGOs, we are actually at a very large scale, they have a very good political background, they have a very good connection. How they are involved, they must be so highly involved in this transition processes or conversion or money laundering process. Okay, casino, gambling and betting, this is, as I already told you, it is one of the Mahadev betting ka recently was in news. It is one of the most betting, ED ne have raided that particular Mahadev betting, and various political stars and big businessmen have their money in this particular betting app. Now gambling is gambling is the authority of state list. State decide ki gambling should be legal in country or not. That's why Goa mein in northeast gambling is basically legal, but in Goa gambling is legal in waters. That's why majority of the casinos you will going to see in Goa is in waters in the form of ship. Yes beta. So that's why this casinos and gambling betting apps are there. अब जैसे क्या हुआ, Dream 11 is kind of betting, but you get a legal authority कि नहीं, it's a game of, there is a different concept also, game of luck and game of chances. Kabhi in a different class we will discuss in detail, because just after this at 12 we have our live session for mains answer writing as well. But gambling is a state list, and gambling is not legal in every part of the country, but gambling is legal in Goa and Mizoram and some part of your northeast, because it is part of their daily lifestyle, it is part of their economy. But in every state it is not particularly legal, that is a matter of center. But yes, gambling and betting apps are one of the largest source of money laundering in our country. And from last few years it has been saw that majority of the people, majority of the youngsters are dying in our country after involving in this cryptocurrency. That is also one of the largest source of black money in our country. And basically but there is a dispute. That's why Prashant Pandey in something which is center has been is basically now majority of the organization, it is believed that they have become the parrot of center, or it is believed that they are the toothless tiger. That is a different concept. Governance ki class mein when you will enroll, you will get to know ki why these particular things are taking place. So charitable, as I told you, NGOs and charitable religious trust are also one of the biggest source of this money laundering. Just some various funding is done by these charitable funds and religious funds which are present in our country. Cryptocurrency laundering, Bitcoin, बहुत ज़्यादा, many of the people you must be aware of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, and same it was asked in PYQ कि Ethereum, the term recently seen in news related to what? अब Ethereum, majority of the people say that कि it is something related to science, Ethereum लग रहा है, but actually Ethereum is a cryptocurrency which is used in European Union, European countries. So this was asked in UPSC कि the term Ethereum is recently seen in news related to what? So it is basically a cryptocurrency. So if this kind of terminologies come in paper or come in newspaper, just make sure you are aware of that, because UPSC can ask you ki XYZ term was recently seen in news related to what. Now this is the actually in detail we have understood, we have discussed the particular thing, that is what is money laundering, how this particular process takes place, and what are the process of this money laundering. Now China fertilizer supply squeeze, अब इन्होंने अपने डैप देना बंद कर दिया, that is डाई अमोनिया फॉस्फेट, because of which we are actually looking for alternative sources. Ab we will say boycott China, boycott China, boycott China. Every time when there is a Diwali or different kind of conflicts which is going on, we always say boycott China, but at the end of the day, the sad part is that ki we can't boycott China, because in every particular last live class I have tell you about this, ki majority of the things which we are exporting, the technology ka crux is basically from China. Same, approx 70 to 80% of urea, that is second most used fertilizer in our country, that is diammonia phosphate, that is DAP, we are exporting from your China, and China recently said that we will stop exporting this because we want to fulfill our need first. So now we are looking for alternate sources. So this is equally important from economy point of view and as well as basically your IR point of view. Rare earth elements के लिए we want to become a good one in EV. तो EV में we have different goals to achieve, but EV के लिए भी we are highly dependent on rare earth elements which are very important for automobile, nuclear and different renewable source of energy. We are majority of our needs of rare earth elements are fulfilled basically by China. not only us but worldwide. If you have saw my last live, I have discussed this in detail. So now the second more like third, this is the third or fourth thing which China has decided to stop, and India has a directly impact of it. India has directly impacted by this particular stuff. So what is now, that is China recent restrictions on fertilizers export, particularly to India, are causing squeeze in global fertilizer supplies, impacting agricultural production and raising prices. This situation exacerbated by rising price of mass market diammonia phosphate and disruption in other fertilizers type. So this is something which is spread by farmers at a very early stage. So this why this particular thing is USA can counter China. This is also a theory. I was supposed to discuss this tomorrow, because today only Russia has done one of the biggest aerial attack or aerial strike on Ukraine. Now officially it is believed that Russia and China has joined hand together. Now it might going to be turned into Russia, China at one side and USA and NATO alliances at the one side. NATO may be EU countries, now they are in a phase कि मैं USA के चलते I will not going to affect my relationship with different parts of country. So EU is also not totally in favor of USA, but yes, now there might be a situation in future कि it will be like directly USA versus Russia and China. So yes, there are chances कि USA, I can't, in current scenario USA जिस तरफ से the minister, the authority, highest decision making authority is there of USA, you can't say कि क्या हो सकता है, because he is one of the most unpredictable person. हालांकि there is a Simpson cartoon which predicts that 12 अगस्त को Trump will going to be connection खत्म हो जाएगा, but still there is a conspiracy, there is a theories. Trump itself is waiting for this कि 12 अगस्त जैसे जैसे हो सकता है मेरा पास हो जाए, कहीं पे इस तरीके से ना हो. But yes, we are expecting different things, because officially today it is believed that China and Russia has joined hands, and now they are actually totally in mood to counter China, or to counter basically USA. Various important things and series of web series and episodes will going to come in this as well in detail. We will going to discuss in tomorrow's live. Surrender kiya, but today only they have done an aerial strike. Majority of the Ukraine areas has been captured by Russia. ठीक है, Ukraine time to time is still fighting. There is no proper surrender which has been done in the country. Recently few years they also क्या बोलते USA said that कि मैंने ceasefire करा दिया, कि I have just working for a peace talks, but still situation is not under control beta. They are actually now, China and Russia is actually totally in mood, because this is also the weakest point for USA. क्योंकि USA के साथ economically USA has a large number of basically your weapons which are with your basically USA, but at this point of time economically also USA is facing different economic aspects. So इसीलिए अगर USA will going to involve directly in war, so उसका जो aim है to become the Trump का simple motive है to become a superpower, to remain a superpower and always to be a superpower, and China aspires to be superpower by 2050. इसलिए चाइना उसके लिए जो बन पड़ रहा है वो कर रहा है, इकोनॉमिकली, स्ट्रैटेजिकली, पॉलिटिकली जो बन सकता है वो कर रहा है. दैट्स वाई इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन द करंट सिनेरियो जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड. अभी क्या हुआ, चाइना सेड दैट आई विल नॉट सप्लाई रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स. इंडिया के डिप्लोमैट्स तो गए, यूएसए डिप्लोमैट्स हैव आल्सो विजिटेड चाइना जस्ट टू टॉक टू देम कि भाई रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स का एक्सपोर्ट मत रोको. व्हाई? बिकॉज देयर ईवी इंडस्ट्री इज ऑल्सो मतलब डाइंग, प्लस योर होल दैट पर्टिकुलर एलॉन मस्क का स्टफ इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर ओनली. रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स का ही बेसिकली एक्सपोर्ट पर डिपेंड करता है. सो देयर इज अ इकोनॉमी विच इज इन्वॉल्व इन एवरीथिंग, एंड एट दिस पॉइंट टाइम इन अ हंगर ऑफ वॉर वी माइट सी different kind of wars. That's why UPSC has asked an interview also in 2022 to majority of the people who have qualified, and in paper also it was asked that the international organizations like United Nations, WHO have failed their relevance in the current scenario, because these organizations were made, United Nations was made to stop the war, but after, well, from past few years we are seeing that they have become paralyzed. So this was asked by UPSC. So yes, what is diammonia phosphate? Because if any mineral there is in news, chances are high that UPSC might ask you something from that particular area. So it is the second most used fertilizer in India after your urea. So India, यूरिया के बाद भारत में सबसे ज़्यादा यूज़ किया जाने वाला जो पर्टिकुलर फर्टिलाइजर्स है, दे आर यूज इज यूरिया. इट इज़ मेजरली स्प्रेड ड्यूरिंग लाइक इनिशियल days. It's normally apply this fertilizer just before at the beginning of sowing. It is the high in phosphorus, that is stimulus not a development, stimulus root development it will going to help. DAP is basically 46% of phosphorus and 18% of the nitrogen in preferred source of phosphorus for farmers. These things are very important. कितना percentage is there, क्योंकि UPSC might basically make that particular statement go like they can interchange that particular statement. And this is similar to urea, which is their preferred nitrogenous fertilizer containing 46% of nitrogen. So these are the technical thing, but it is very important that it is the second largest used fertilizers after basically your urea. How it will going to impact? So specifically there will be a shortage, because of which there are high prices of diammonia which we have seen in the country. Because beta extraction process is very difficult, Pandey ji. प्रशांत, बिकॉज अभी देखो वी हैव थोरियम एट अ वेरी गुड स्केल. अगर थोरियम, द अमाउंट ऑफ थोरियम वी विल गोइंग टू एक्सट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम आवर कंट्री, देन दैट कैन फुलफिल अप्रॉक्स लाइक 80 years of our electricity need. But the thing is that rare earth elements are not rare because they are not in less number. They are rare. They are called as rare earth elements because the extraction process is very difficult. China, despite being one of the largest, world का largest rare earth element जहाँ present है, they are also not able to extract that thing because their geography where they are present, the terrain where they are present, these minerals are present, that is not easy to extract because this extraction leads to different other causes like landslide और इस तरीके के problem that can lead to various problems in that particular region. That's why we have find lithium, we have find that is known as white gold. Lithium is very important for our battery needs, but the extraction process is difficult because we are also looking after the environmental concern. अब मिला कहाँ? जम्मू कश्मीर के रीजन में मिला. जम्मू कश्मीर रीजन में आप जस्ट इमेजिन कि आप जाके बस ड्रिलिंग शुरू कर सकते हो क्या? नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज दीज आर द माउंटेन एरियाज. ड्रिलिंग करने में भी वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा, एक तो हाई कॉस्ट, वी नीड अ हाई कॉस्टली मशीन्स, हाईली एडवांस मशीन्स, प्लस वी हैव टू लुक आफ्टर कि वो ड्रिलिंग के बाद वहाँ पे अर्थक्वेक या इस तरीके के लैंडस्लाइड्स की सिचुएशन ना राइज हो. दैट्स वाई एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस इज स्टिल डिफिकल्ट. कॉपर प्रोडक्शन में चाइना इज ऑन दी 1 number, बट स्टिल चाइना इज फेसिंग दैट रिफाइनिंग प्रोसेस, जहां कॉपर को यू कन्वर्ट इन रिफाइंड प्रोसेस दैट इज यूज एज अ फाइनल प्रोडक्ट फॉर मेकिंग डिफरेंट वायर्स एंड डिफरेंट शीट्स. सो बट द रिफाइनिंग प्रोसेस इज वेरी कॉस्टली एंड वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो इसीलिए वेरियस मिनरल्स का एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस इज डिफिकल्ट. बीइंग स्टिल अ डेवलपिंग कंट्री, वी डोंट हैव दैट मच टेक्नोलॉजी. इफ वी अलाउ एनी XYZ कंट्री टू कम हियर एंड एक्सट्रैक्ट दैट थिंग और थोड़ा बोले और हमें दे, that is not something we are currently in favor of because these lithium, thorium, these are one of the biggest minerals जहाँ पे we don't want any XYZ country to have a major say. So this is also the reason. They are not rare because they are less. They are rare because the extraction process is difficult. ठीक है? So yes, there is a fertilizer shortage. India, there we have to face the consequences, and this fertilizer thing will going to directly impact the fruit and vegetable industry. Then China pe we have lot of dependence. Because of the dependency we don't have alternate sources. So current, like we have alternate sources, but majority of the requirement is fulfilled by China. Now we are looking for that. Now in 2020 and 2021 itself, your prime minister have announced that we will become Atmanirbhar in this ammonia, this particular fertilizer cultivation, diammonia. But yes, after that also becoming Atmanirbhar, planning to become Atmanirbhar, still we are lacking at a very large scale. Now, India imports approximately 80% of its specially fertilizers from China, making it vulnerable to export restriction. So majority of the things are exported from here despite, and this is one more thing very important, China has not officially banned, but despite he's saying कि हाँ मैं ban कर दूंगा या what is the thing is they are leading to procedural delays. What is procedural delays? That means there is not any official document which has been released by ministries of your China, but they are like making it a very delay and lamed process. Like जहाँ पे एक महीने में आ जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन they are transferring it या they are exporting it like on an average in a 5 to 6 months. So this is actually a say कि हाँ we are currently not in a mood, but yes our fertilizers prices has been increased in China में, this is blocking the export. And yes now because this is the cropping season for us, and if this time if China is taking this step, then definitely it will going to hamper the crop production this year of our country. So still we are trying to find a different dialogues and diplomatic ties and diplomatic talks which we can have with them and work on it. Now this was in currently is very news, the parada, the Kolhapuri Chappal. ठीक है, the Kolhapuri is one of the, you must also have heard about the Kolhapuri Chappal. In Prada fashion show, this particular male whatever the fashion जो भी walk कर रहा था, the artist or the model, he just wore this particular Kolhapuri, and the Prada have not given any authentication or basically any dedication or any tag, जैसे बोलते हैं ना Instagram पे tag नहीं किया to the Indian particular Indian, because this is Indian origin, this is our something which we are making from a 13th of century. So now there was a whole conspiracy which was around this, and we have said that नहीं बेटा ये तो बहुत गलत कर रहा है, this is something which is made in our country and you are, and ये इतनी महंगी बिकी भाई, हमारे वहाँ 250-300 के बिक जाती है, लाखों में बिकी है कोल्हापुरी चप्पल, एंड पीपल वर लाइक वाओ यार ये तो नेक्स्ट लेवल थिंग है. अच्छा ओके, yes yeah 1.5 lakh this particular thing, but now from here what is important for us, मतलब ये 150-250 की चप्पल, it was this sold in 1.5 lakh rupees and without giving us credit कि हाँ this is your something, you guys have created this thing, and after that फिर we were like भाई साहब यही कोल्हापुरी चप्पल देंगे. So कोल्हापुरी चप्पल is basically, it is important because it is which is made in Maharashtra, it is made from 13th of century, it is a place called in Kolhapur, that is in Maharashtra, from where it is made. It is a GI tag. GI tag is a geographical indication tag which is given. Just 2 minutes more beta. Kolhapuri Chappal is basically a tag which is given, GI tag to particular chappal. GI tag is given to any particular thing that is very authentic which is made in our country, like your black rice of your Manipur, then we have Darjeeling tea, then we have Tala, then we have different mangoes, lychee from Muzaffarpur, that is Bihar. So majority of the fruits and vegetables, saris have been given these GI tags, and Kolhapuri is one of it which has been given a GI tag. It's a properly made from leather, and it is made from the skin of cow, buffalo and basically goat, it is believed that, and it is made in our country from 30th of century, and again then you are 100% leather, cow, buffalo and even goat. So these three things leathers, and they are using vegetable basically colors or oil to basically footwear, vegetable dyes basically to make that footwear reliable, to make that particular footwear anti-allergic. So this can be asked कि भाई कोल्हापुरी चप्पल में क्या this particular vegetable dyes are used to make that anti-allergic? So answer is yes, vegetable dyes are used to make this anti-allergic. So this was just a news. So just we have discussed, this is a GI tag, and your homework is what are the other products of Maharashtra which has been given GI tag. So that's all for today. Hope so it was a great session. Hope so you guys have enjoyed. It was an informative session. Let us meet tomorrow and we will discuss some more important articles. That's all. Thank you so much. Take care.